Well, it looks like we are live. Hi, guys, it's Lauren. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Friday night scrapbooking. I'm so glad if you are here and joining me. And as you are kind of joining, please say hello. I'd love to see who's joining me tonight and also where you're from. And even if you are watching this after the live stream, I will be posting this on my channel. I would still love for you to say hi and tell me where you're from. I love to hear all about who's joining me and just a little bit more about whatever's new with you. So just take a minute and say hello. I'm going to just do a little housekeeping to try to get set up so I can see you guys coming on, and here we go. Okay, I'm just gonna click on and see if I can see my comments. And okay, here we go. Hi, Joanne. Welcome. You are watching from the Virginia Beach. Welcome. Okay, awesome. So as you guys just kind of come on with me, just like I said, say hello and just let me know where you're from. And as I get rolling, we'll just keep on going. I do love to also hear what your questions are and really kind of what you're struggling with. And I just want to say for tonight, we've got a lot of fun things to talk about. But one of the things is that I want to talk a little bit about birthday pages and how we can scrapbook some birthday pages together, and also a little bit about kids in general. And I'm also going to share one of the brand new promotions. Woohoo! So exciting. And also we are going to talk a little bit about journaling and stamping tonight. So we've got a big list of things to talk about, but I am always so excited to see you and say hello. All right, now we've got everybody coming on. So hi, Heather. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Kathy, Linda, Sandra, Julie. Oh, we've got some of my Aussie friends. Yay, Sabine, Jerry, and up north in Canada. So thank you guys for joining me, and a big hello to everybody else who's coming on and saying hello. Hi, Karen. So glad to have you. Well, I want to start with a little housekeeping, and I have two things to kind of tell you about. So I know some of you guys are already familiar because you are consultants or have consultant friends, but there is a brand new promotion. Can you guys see this? This is really exciting. So I just posted this on my Facebook page, and this to me is one of the best promos Creative Memories has done. So you know what a big fan I am for Creative Memories. Well, there is a You Pick It promo starting on Monday. I just want to kind of let you know about that, because if you're ready to order, don't order until Monday. Super exciting. There are 2 bundles, and it's one of the best promotions they've ever done. I can't believe they're giving away so much free stuff. It's the album, an exclusive paper pack, and a border punch. One is this swirly wave one, and then another album, another exclusive paper pack. So the paper packs are different, the albums are different, and then a different border punch. It's got the palm trees on it. So be prepared, everyone, for Monday. That's going to be really exciting, and kind of fun to see what happens. So here's how I'm looking at it. So I just placed, I know it's really tricky when you're like, oh, I just ordered, which is what I just did, right? So this is what I'm thinking is one of the things I've been wanting to do is add custom foiled spines to some of my kids' albums, and that kind of takes, so they're $10 a piece, but I have different albums that I've already done, but I really want this look of cohesion among all of my kids' books, so that I have my All About You books, and anyhow, you know my whole thing. So I'm thinking that's part of what I'm going to do is um, work on getting some of those custom spines. So anything counts towards the promotion. Anything counts towards those 150. Now, if you want both promos, then you have to do 2 orders. Just want to say that. So, wow. Hi, everybody who just came on. Judy, Rose, Teresa, and Lynn. Oh my goodness, so many folks. Hi. Hi, everybody. So thank you for joining me. So anyhow, I just want to remind you, it doesn't have to be product. It could be custom album. It could be custom foiled spines. It could be anything that totals up to $150 before tax. And also here's my tip on shipping. If you hit $150, you get everything shipped for $8.95, okay? At least this is US. I know Canada and Australia is a little different, right? $8.95 US. If you shop for $151 worth of stuff, your shipping is $14.95. Not really fun. So I always really encourage you, make sure you're aware of the shipping threshold. So anything in that first order up to $150, like don't go over or you're going to bump into the next shipping bracket. And who wants to pay more for shipping, right? So anyhow, great. Okay, that's a little tidbit for the promo that's coming out on Monday. And I also want to share one other little tip with you. I've never tried this before. So I'm going to try showing you something on my iPad and see if this works. So, whoops, can you guys see that? Okay, awesome. Looks like it's coming through. All right. So yeah, no, the offer is only for orders that are coming starting Monday. So, and if you're in Australia and Canada, I'm thinking it's the same thing, but it is anything new starting at 10 Central, noon Central Time, which is 10 Pacific where I am. So I always look for things at 10 a.m. Okay, so welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. Okay, so let me just kind of show you a little bit. I've had a few requests. So this is what I like to do. I like to hear what's going on from you. I've had some really great conversations with some customers and some consultant advisors on my team. And I love taking that information and thinking about how can I help you? How can I help with some of these things that I hear recurring, some different ideas that I hear. And so one of the things I decided to do was update my website. So if any of you have not seen this, I have a website and it's called craftssomejoy.com. So easy. You can just pop on over to the website. So this is the landing page. When you get there, there's all these different tabs that you can go to. And one of the things I was learning from my community is that people need tutorials. And so what I did is I decided to have a tutorials button, but basically that's a way of grouping my videos into categories for you, because let's face it, I'm getting to have quite a few videos, right? It's kind of hard to keep up with everything. So how is the best way I can do that to help you? If you're brand new to scrapbooking, how can I help you? So I made a category right here. It's called Getting Started. And I'm still updating this, so I just kind of wanted to show you what it's looking like and that it's here as a resource. So as a brand new person, what is Creative Memories all about? Why should I even bother with Creative Memories albums? How can I print? This is my printing video here, and also my photo folders. So those are right there in the beginning. What are some of the ways I can do that? Then of course we all need to be organized, right, everybody? So let's get organized. And there's 2 categories for organization. There's really, how do we organize with the projects we want to accomplish and getting our pictures sorted and all that. And you guys know and love. That's our pop series. So I've made a group here for pop, and so as we add pop videos, they'll be right here. And then there's also all the fun stuff of how do you get your supplies and organize your stash? How do we do that? And so I am working on organizing and adding all of the videos on how to organize all in one place. So this is going to be so easy for you. Then what I've had many, many requests for are flip throughs. How about, can we see more of your albums? I want to see your albums. I want to see how you finish your pages and so on and so forth. Well, you know what? I have a lot of those videos already, but as I said, they kind of get lost down in the shuffle. So there's going to be a Getting Inspired tab right here, a section. And this is where I'm going to do those videos that are, you know, how to be creative on your pages. If there's products that I'm reviewing, new products that are coming out, they'll be here. And this is where my live videos are going to go, because this is where we do a lot of talk about the process. How is the process of scrapbooking? Okay, so that is just going to help you guys find what you need instead of going, I don't know where that is. What was that video? What did she say in that video? And all of that. And then at the bottom is just other crafty videos and ideas. Okay, so I'm really excited about that. And then there's one other thing I want to show you on my website, which I'm doing. I'm doing this all for you, you guys. Well, I'll show you two things. I've always talked about the shop and shop my favorite things, because that's where I have everything listed from all my different videos. So if you're ever wondering, what is it that she used in that thing? This is my shop my favorite things. And you have a whole list here of all the things that I use. There's a pop section if you keep scrolling down. Progress on projects, supplies, the paper that I use for photo folders, the paper I use for my planner, all that good stuff. Okay, so I try to keep this updated so that it's not just one, I'm not just answering one person, you know, one person's question, but really I have a resource for everyone. And that's my goal, is to get you what you need. And then I'm going to go all the way back up and go to home. And here's my other thing I'm doing for you guys. And that is, if you scroll down, we've got a new calendar. Yay! Right here. So what the calendar is going to do is show you what's coming up when. And in my last live, it was a Facebook Live, I was able to say I want to commit to 2 Fridays for you for Facebook Live, or 2 Fridays for here on YouTube, Friday night scrapbooking, and then 2 Saturdays or Fridays for Facebook Live. So anyhow, the whole idea is that there is going to be a place where you can go and find out what's going on. Okay, so yay, good, Linda. I'm glad you like the calendar idea. And then I also put in like, oh, by the way, don't forget the special is coming on Monday. So that's when the new product promo launches. And so as I get my schedule a little more nailed down, cohesive for you, you'll see more of this filled out. Okay, so right now I have tonight on here, and I have not next week, but the week after, we'll be back here on YouTube live, and we can do that. Okay, so just that worked out okay, I guess, on the iPad. So I just wanted to let you know about that and give you that little information and tips. So, okay, I'm glad you guys like that. And let me see, my video's just spinning, spinning, spinning. But I can see your comments, so that's good. Okay, so 1 second here. Okay, so what are we going to do tonight? We are going to talk about 3 things. We've already talked about the bundles, so I can put that over there. But I want to start off by showing you something fun. And we did this border in our last live, And I just kind of wanted to follow up and show you how everything came together for my son's school book, because we were talking a little bit about school books last week and how that works. So I just wanted to show you kind of how this came out, and we did this border together. So if you're interested in how to learn how to do this border, just pop on over. Actually, it's posted on my YouTube channel now, and it's also on my Facebook page. Remember how I said, oh, I wasn't sure how, but I wanted to add in this artwork? Well, I figured out, and I think some people had the comment, you can either take a picture or, and I just saw somebody kind of, I think made a comment that they got the new printer, the new Canon printer that is on my favorite things page. Well, guess what? It is a scanner as well. And so I decided to see what would happen if I actually scanned my son's artwork, because this was letter size, right? I know it doesn't work for huge things, but this one was going to work. So you can choose, make sure you choose like a 300 DPI so that you get a really good scan. And I printed it. And this is just on matte photo paper, because I didn't want it to be shiny like a photo, or matte like a semi-gloss like a photo. So I shrunk it down and I printed it. So now look at how much less room that takes in his scrapbook. But you can still read it, you can still see his artwork, and it's still so easy. So I just loved being able to do that and use the Canon printer. So it's not just for printing, wonderful for scanning too. I did the same thing for the little, what is this? Like a little note that the class wrote together and about their trip to their field trip. Okay, so before we jump off of here, I just also want to point out, so before we were talking about how the new Fresh Fusion coordinates with Playtime stickers. And then I also want to just point out that it also coordinates really well with the Rainbow Rush. So if you're wondering where did that awesome sticker come from, that's from Rainbow Rush. And look at how great everything just kind of goes together. Now, also, what's really important is journaling. And so that's one of the things I'm going to talk about kind of off and on tonight, is how can we make journaling easier for us? Because journaling is such an important part of your scrapbooking process. There really is no way that you can not journal. I mean, you just have, well, okay, in my opinion, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. But to me, it makes your album a wonderful representation of your thoughts and your process when you add your words. Okay, so I'm a huge advocate for journaling. I'll just say that. I love it. I love looking back, and I can come from a perspective of a daughter who lost, I'm an only child, and I lost both my parents. So if my mom had not discovered scrapbooking with me and had not taken the time to write some of those things down, I would have lost a lot out of my history. I would have lost a lot about how she felt, and, you know, just words. The words are so different than just in, you know, kind of what you feel from a picture. Okay, so how do we make that easier, right? So one of the ways I always talk about journaling, you've heard me say this before, is to use a separate journaling paper. And there are, in the different kits, there are journal and mat packs, which are super easy to use for that. I'm hoping that's not too much of a glare for you guys. Is that okay? Okay. And the other thing I really love is I love journaling on dot grid or grid paper. And so I decided to make my own. And anybody who's purchased anything from me has gotten one of these. And I've mentioned this before, but I really, really love using this. And you can print a bunch of it and then just keep it. So you can cut it exactly in the space that you have, which is one of the things I love. You know, sometimes when you have a specific mat, you'll have it like has to fit in a certain area. This is great because you can cut it exactly in, oh, now that I'm done, you know, I can put it in here. And also, journaling is, I had someone, I think, wrote to me or something and said, actually, I journal first. How about that? Journaling was so important to them. They journal first and then they put their photos on. I kind of do like to journal last because I like to get the layout, but I always make room to have some place on my page. If I'm using a peekaboo pocket, it's under that, but somewhere I really need to tell the story. So I encourage you just to get some journal cards. The other thing, you know, Creative Memories had a lined ruled paper eons ago. If you know an old CM advisor, you could always ask to see if they have ruled paper. So that's a little different than, you know, grid or dot, but it's so easy. So, and I also have this for sale on my website. So I'll just say that too. Then what I realized is not only is our journal boxes so fun for journaling, but I also tried it with the stamps, the new stamps from Creative Memories. Okay, so who got the new stamps? Oh, here they are. I wasn't sure. You guys, I really wasn't sure. I wasn't sure I was going to use them. I wasn't sure if I liked them. I didn't really know, but I tried them on a couple pages and then I thought, you know, it's kind of fun. It makes a really fun little title and a different element to your page. And I put a post up for Instagram and I go, do you guys do this? Right? And you can tell me now. Tell me, do you stamp on your pages? I'd love to hear that because I really haven't explored that very much. And but I am liking it. Are you guys liking that? I thought it was really cute. I'll show you the post, the two-page post I did too, and that was on the painted desert. And I'll just go ahead and talk about this since we're talking stamps. And where is it? Here it is. So I had some questions about I posted that I did a second generation stamp on this. So, oh, do we need a tutorial on stamps, Julie? I am not the leader in stamps. There are so many people out there that are really good at stamping. But I have had my practice over the years and I do, you know, anyhow. So this is what's called a second generation stamp. And let me see if I can find, okay, so what the difference is, I just want to show you. So this is a first generation stamp. Can you see that? How dark that is? And so again, I tried this. I didn't stamp directly on my page. I had paper. So I wanted to see what that looked like. And I stamped that and I thought, it's a little, it didn't quite have the right feel for me on my pages. So then what you do to get a second generation is you stamp once and then you stamp on the intended paper. So what it does is give you kind of that distressed look instead of this, you know, kind of deep black. So that's just a technique. And what you do is you just get, okay, you guys have to try it. You have to, I mean, this is it. This is my goof sheet, right? You have to practice a little bit before you put it in your, or where you want it to go, because it's a little bit of a trick, right? So, so here's the other part of alphabets. there's only one of each letter. So painted worked great because I only had one of each letter there. Guess what? Dessert, I had two E's, and let's see, what else did I have? Let's see. I had to do two E's. So so you can see, I had to put DES on one, right? And then before I could do the rest of the word, I had to do ERT. Okay, so really to get desert, I had to do 4 stamps, right? I had to stamp it once dark, then once light on my page, then again change out the letters, stamp it once dark, and then once light. Okay, so I hope that kind of makes sense. So when you're compiling titles, that's also something you have to think about, is letters and how they go together if you want a continuous title. Now, of course, another easy way to get around that is to stamp and cut each one on a different piece of paper, right? So that is easy to do. So you would have a P on one piece, an A, and so forth, right? So yes, and this is, yeah, I do love alphabet stickers. I'm telling you, I love alphabet stickers. It's a little easier than this. So you really do have to kind of commit to this to try it, but it does add, I think it does add kind of a different fun element to your pages. So I just kind of wanted to go over a little bit about how this page came out. I also just want to mention, again, combining palettes, and I've really thought a lot about how do you get pages done? How do you really kind of focus on a project? And again, I keep coming back to palettes, palettes, palettes. Palettes really help you put the blinders on and forget about the rest of your stash and really just focus on what you're working on. So that's what I did in this album. As I kind of mentioned last time, picked that color to go through. And then what was working super well was the stickers and some of the laser cuts and so forth from both the planes. So if you're wondering where this little cloud came from and the sun, that came from the planes sticker set. And I think the automobiles, I think both planes and automobiles anyhow, is what I was using, as well as the laser cut. So just an FYI on how to do that. Okay, that is Stamping 101. Do you guys have any specific questions about that? Let's see. I wish they'd sell the stamps separate. I would buy. Yeah, I know. I hear you, Julie. I know. In fact, I'm really tempted to get another set, but like you said, I don't need another block. So yeah. Which is why we are also going to explore cutters, right? I know I've talked about that. And actually, if we go back here, I didn't really point that out too much, but this right here is just a cardstock that I cut, which I love this big bold font, and I think it works well with our stamped alphabet. So there you don't have any trouble at all trying to have multiple vowels, right? Especially if you have a lot of vowels in your name or in the word you're trying to make a title for. Okay, so there we have it. Cutting is also a very fun thing, and so I want to, I just got my little silhouette portrait 2 is the one I decided to get. And just an FYI on that for you, it's tiny. You guys, it's really small. Do you want to see it? I'll show it to you. It's right here. It's really small. It's really cute. But if you're planning on doing like a big 12 by 12, let me unplug this. So you can see, there it is. It's tiny. Right? Here's a 12 by 12 paper. So it's not going to work with 12 by 12 paper. It works with 8.5 by 11, but it's actually a little smaller than 8.5 by 11. You can fit an 8.5 by 11 on the cutting mat. All, like if you don't have a lot of room, which is I don't have a lot of room in my work area, it would be perfect for cutting titles. Okay, so that is the cutter that I decided to get. And I had this tip from Lisa Mendoza, and Lisa, you are right. Like, the Silhouette Studio is amazing, so easy to use. So just a little plug for that. Okay, so let's talk then a little bit more about birthday pages. And I want to dig in a little bit more into the Fresh Fusion and just share with you, we don't really have a whole lot of birthday stuff right now. And I think that I'm hoping that might change in a little bit, where we get some good birthday collections. But what I was thinking is, how can we do birthday just kind of with what we have right now, or looking back. Some of you guys will laugh when you see some of these, like, okay, so here's some of the older birthday stickers. We've got these from Creative Memories, and then way old, way old. I can't even remember what these, but these were old company birthday look, which are very, well, here's the good news. Any of these with your photographs, you know, they would work with the new Fresh Fusion. So I was kind of excited to see that. Let's see, just put the paper over there. But you can see that you can kind of pull these colors in and use those. So that's just a tip if you think you need to have some birthday stuff. But I'm also just going to show you some other ways we can take a look at birthday. So while we're talking about this, yeah, I know we have old stuff, right? Yeah, but let's take a fresh look at all of that, because we are going to scrap our stash, right? So here's something I just want to share with you. This is a little pop journey, progress on projects journey I've had to kind of go on for myself. And this came about because I was really struggling with what to share with you guys tonight, and also just really getting my head around my own projects, because I get asked a lot, like, how I need help. How can I do this with, you know, how can I get a handle? I've had some great conversations, like I said, with some folks this week, and one person was just, actually a couple of people were just so overwhelmed, and I understand that. I really understand the feeling of overwhelmed, because guess what? I was overwhelmed right before I was starting this live. And I thought to myself, I really have to kind of go through that process myself so I can understand how to help you guys too. And through those conversations, what I realized is, first of all, even if you can't get, I just have to do one more plug, even if you can't get to all the organizing and all the scrapbooking, it is really, really important to at least write notes down, even if it's on little journal cards of things that are happening. And, you know, you can just keep a little box like this for your kids, or for different things. Just date the back or date the front, whatever, and just really write down what's happening, because boy, you will forget, okay? Because I'm looking back at some of these and going, I totally don't know what to say about this. I'll come up with something, but it's so different than being in the moment, right? So that is what I think is super, super important, is to also make sure that you keep track of what's happening, when it's happening, and write those words down. That's important. Okay, so okay, I'm going to check in on some of these comments. Let me see. Yes, I love putting old and new together. The dimensional, yes. I love the dimensional stuff. Okay. Yeah, that one's lots of, we've got to have a lot of different dimensional stickers. So, okay, I'm hoping they're going to come out with some more birthday stuff. Now, let's see. Okay, let me just get back to Pop and kind of where I came about. And if there's a specific, I should also say, if there's some unanswered questions, after we're done, I will definitely try to go back and read them and answer them for you in case, because there's a lot of comments coming up. Okay, and so I will try to address those. And you guys, you can always message me on my Facebook page too. So there's that. Okay, and we are talking about Pop. So remember this tracker? This tracker was, again, what I needed to turn back to. And this was keeping track. So I was working with my daughter, Audrey. What is POP? Okay, so POP stands for Progress on Projects. And I have a whole series on my YouTube channel. And it's how to create this planner that keeps track of all your album projects and all your notes and everything, so that everything starts making sense. Okay, so I'll just do that little, that's what Pop is. It's a way of writing things down. So whenever people are asking, how do I start? What do I do? I'm so far behind. What should I do? My first response is always print the trackers and start writing things down. Start writing things down. Because when you can start writing things down, things become so much clearer for you. And especially with kids. So, you know, this one is definitely all about kids, what I'm going to talk about. But this works for your vacations. You know, you can keep track of all the different vacations you went on. So I was chatting with someone and I said, what are 3 projects that you want to see done right now? And she really wanted her kids, and she really wanted travel, and I am drawing a blank on what the third one is, but you guys get the picture, right? So if you had, I always ask this question, if you were able to pull an album off your bookshelf right now, and that was filled and it was complete and it was finished, what would be in that album? And that's always kind of where you can start thinking about what's important to you, and then you write it down in the Pop Planner, and you get a handle on it. And then you can even just narrow your focus. Once you have a place to put everything, but then you can also narrow your focus as to where you really want to start. If your first album that you want to pull down, I had this conversation with someone else. She Marcel, and you guys, if you're watching or listening, she has 5 kids. What would you want to pull off? Well, my son's album. I want a full book of him. Okay, let's talk about that. Here's someone never scrapbooked before. Her kids. She scrapbooked, but not her kids. So her son is 12. How do you handle that? That's amazing. That's, you know, oh my goodness, how do you handle that? Well, first, you get your Pop Planner and you start writing down from baby, when was he born? What was, you know, the years of his first year? What are notes when he got in school? Who was his teacher? What sports did he play? You know, you could even put in who are the friends, so on and so forth. And then over here is the status column, whether you have not started the album, in process, or complete. So then you get a whole snapshot from birth to, in her case, 12 for him. And then you say, how do I want to do that? How do I want to look at all those years? So here is a suggestion that, and some of you may be, you know, you may be in the midst of it like I am when I get started here, but some of you may be way behind and say, I don't know where to start, and it's a really scary place to be. So I have a thought for you, and the thought is going to follow over into how I'm going to reevaluate what I'm doing as well. My thought is, for someone who's really wants to kind of give their child a glimpse of their life. How many of you are familiar? Have you ever heard of the term toddler to teen? There's a kind of many, many years ago, this is what folks were doing. It was called toddler to teen. It is a way of just documenting on 2 pages each year of your child's life. Yep, I said 2 pages. So that's like left side and right side is 1 year. So you have to be, really selective. But here's the thing. If you can do that, you can have a beautiful album for your child. So really, that is kind of like, you guys have seen, one second. You guys have seen the book I did for Audrey, right? So it's really kind of this format where this is all about Audrey. This is when she was little, and this is when she was in middle school or elementary school. This is when she was in high school. This is when she didn't have teeth. This is when she had teeth, and so on and so forth. It's a beautiful compilation of her life experience. And that's what kind of a toddler to teen. So, this is another format you could use, is the happy album. This is a smaller format album. That also might make you feel like you could get this accomplished, right? So this is her, this is what I gave her when she graduated from high school. I have an entire flip through, okay, of this album. And so that's going to go on my website, where if you want to see flip throughs. So I have a flip through of this album on my YouTube channel. Okay, so it really does kind of, yes, you have to be selective, and you have to really think, is this my child? Does this represent her, or was it a significant event? This is when she found out, when she got into the college of her choice. So, what are the things that really reflect your child? You can do that. And then you have one place to share that. Now, what do you do with all the other amazing photographs from that didn't make it into that book, right? That it's like, it's scary, because you're like, well, what about this? This is such a great, or, they played soccer, or they played basketball, or, they did Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts. And where do I put all those? Not to worry, because we've talked about the All About You album, right? We've talked about that, and I've mentioned that in my pop series. So here's how I'm looking at things, and this is how I'm doing things a little different. And, this can be, you can think of this as for kids, but you can also think of this for other projects. So just kind of extrapolate the information. So I went back and I really took a hard look at the albums that I had already started for her and that I had already created for her. And so I had 2 finished, mostly finished, her baby and her first year. The first year just needs some more journaling, and then it's finished. And then I started this thought that I had to have 3 more volumes for her. And then that's when that overwhelm hits, where you say, I can't do that. I don't have enough time to scrapbook everything. So what can I realistically do? So I started taking another look, and in this middle part right here, I do have her school books, which is what I showed. So Eric has his school book. Audrey they all have their school books, which is fun. And that's where, you get to put in all of that fun memorabilia, artwork, the field trips, all of that. I would never say replace this, because I love looking through this, and I love being able to have a representation of their school life. So what my plan was, what my plan is now, is that it is just kindergarten through the end of middle school is where I'm stopping. I'm choosing to stop. Okay, so that gives me, now I know some people, if what type of school you go to, or if you're in a different country. So it was a natural stopping point before high school, before, the kind of higher education, which I feel really, they have a different set of pictures, really, when you look at that age group. But this younger age group, I wanted the school books to really reflect that. Okay, so I'm not saying not to do these. I'm saying, yes, I still would do these, but they're really 2 volumes, which I'm hoping I'm hoping 2 volumes to get all that in there. And then, and it depends, like you can do middle school and high school together. You can stop at elementary school, or you can do a middle school book. It's all, a personal choice, and you really have to look at your photo set and how much you have and what you want to document for your child. And then, then what do you do with all the other pictures? That's when it's the all about you. So what I decided to do, and this is what I'm going to start with tonight, is I'm going to really look at Audrey, a really good look. And I forgot who was saying that. Was it Julie or someone said, you really have to be selective. Yes, that's the difference. Okay, yes, you really have to be selective. I am looking through my perspective glasses, and I want to be selective instead of just that mindset that you have to scrapbook everything, right? So we don't have to do that. So now this whole, I have those first 2 albums done, but now I'm looking at all of these growing up pictures as an all about her book. Then I'm going to have the school volumes, and then I'm going to have another all about her book. So all those wonderful pictures are going to have a home. They're going to have a place, but really my focus is going to be on telling her story. Why is she special? And what do I love about her? Okay, so that's the difference between just throwing pictures down and going, this person was here and that person was here, and so on. So that's my big perspective aha moment. And so I'm in here, I'm in it with you guys. Just have to say that. I am in it with you. So tonight I'm just going to work on a couple pages here. Again, these are birthday pages. And here's what I did. Here's her entire set. So I had originally scheduled to scrapbook all of these pictures. So what did I have to do? I had to say, nope, perspective. Does my child really need a picture of her aunt holding her little brother? Well, that's not really about her. That's not really her birthday. So maybe not. Maybe I can just focus this. If I had to scrapbook all these photos, it would take at least 2 2-page spreads, or maybe 3. Okay. So, or a lot of peekaboo pockets, right? So what really, these are great photos, but guess where these are going to go? These are going to go into my library of memories, because these are 2 of my good friends. Okay, so now this is going to go in my friend's page. Now this one I may want to actually give to this friend, because it's her and her daughter, and it's a great shot. So now I'm having that wonderful way of celebrating some great pictures with those friends that they may have never seen these, right? Because I had them, and it was Audrey's birthday party, but it has nothing to do really with Audrey. So that really is the shift in my perspective, and to just say I don't have to scrapbook everything. And what I do want to do is make sure I take a look, because if it's grandma, now maybe grandma's going to make a space on here, but really it's not Audrey and grandma. So it doesn't really tell that story. It was just that she was there. So this is also a wonderful opportunity to put grandma in the people we love, because it's a great shot of grandma. Okay, so does that make sense? Instead of really just saying, I'm just gonna plow through all the photos and I'm just gonna get it done. It's really taking another look at what really celebrates Audrey and her birthday. And when I was done, I came up with these photos that to me really represented her birthday. And I joke with Audrey because I always dressed her in purple. Did you guys never do that with your kids? Like decide that this child looks good in this color. I did that with her, and I loved putting purple on her. So I was pretty lucky when I saw the Fresh Fusion had this really cool purple paper. And this is from the Bold pack, and then this is a beautiful yellow, which I'm just pulling these colors right out of the photos, if you can see that, the purple and the yellow. This is not a soft party, right? This is not pastel. This is bold and rich, so I'm going to go for that, and I'm going to use those bold rich colors on her layout. And this one, this yellow, is actually from the soft pack, but it works. You guys can see that, okay? So this is what I'm starting with. And again, I'm just going to use my very simple formula. You guys know my 3 rules. You color block, you snap to grid, and you embellish with purpose. Okay, so before I cut, I'm just going to do also... I'm thinking about, there's really also design elements and design choices, right? And one of the things that we often, I've probably mentioned it, I don't know, but there's always the power of the left-hand corner. And we are just trained, if we are an English reader, we always look here first. So I kind of just naturally do that, but you can also just remember to do that. Pick your favorite photo, the one that really shows this is her and her birthday. So this is the one with the cake and the candles, and it goes in the left-hand corner or close, okay? So we can talk some more. I'm thinking about doing some more videos, maybe a little bit more on design. So we can kind of work from there. Okay, so I'm going to just take a quick look at these photos, kind of see. So I'm going to highlight this. I love these photos. This one's great. This one kind of has heads in it. So, and this one, I think what I'm going to do is put this here, and then I'm going to trim this one down. Okay, just to try to get a little more focus on Audrey. And you guys know one of my favorite sizes is a square. So I like, sometimes I start at a 4x4, okay, and already now I'm seeing more of her. Or another favorite size is a 3x3. So we might trim that down. We'll just have to see how this goes. So super easy to cut that down. And again, over here, I've got these great pictures of her and her sister. I thought I'd throw in the cake. I'm not sure. It might be like on the back of a peekaboo pocket or something, but I really kind of love this, all this purple going on. So what I want to do is kind of highlight these photos because I think they're so sweet, and highlight this. So just looking right now, my choice is going to be to cut my paper to mat these photos. So you guys have heard me say this before. These are 4x6, so I'm going to cut my paper at 6.5. Now again, when you're using a pattern paper like this, you always want to flip it over, because if I was cutting this and maybe the stripes were going the other way, you just want to make sure you're a pattern like this, that you're cutting the other side in a way that makes sense. But this side is, this pattern is diagonal, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so there's my 6.5 inch paper. This is going to go here, and we've got those highlighted. Okay, and then I'm also looking at that and going, wow, that just all of a sudden got really dark. So I'm going to need some yellow behind this to kind of brighten up those photos. And I think I may bring this purple over here in some way. So we'll just kind of play with that a little bit. But here's where I'm going to bring some yellow. So Let me see, do I want to go this way? I think I might go this way. We're going to try it out, see what we have. I ended up getting a couple packs of the Fresh Fusion, so I know I can at least try a few things out with this pack. Okay, so here's the yellow, and let's just see if that will kind of start popping. Yep, that works, right? It just kind of helps pop the color, and the purple just kind of doesn't get lost in the page now. All right, now these, because you know, we only have 12 inches, we're going to need to trim these just a smidge to get that to fit on there nicely. Okay, so we're going to just trim these down. I'm going to try and trim them down to 5, and if you haven't seen my little trimmer video, this is one of the best things I ever did, was put this little dotted line at the 5-inch mark, because it seems like forever I am just trimming off 1 inch, and then everything just does that easily and lines up. And they do recommend you can use your 12-inch trimmer to cut photos, but when the official report from Creative Memories is that your blade will not last as long. Okay, that's all. It'll cut photos fine, but you just won't get as many cuts from your trimmer. So that's up to you, totally up to you. Okay, so I wanted to just also bring in some of these embellishments, and here's where I was thinking, you know, it's fun since we don't have a whole lot of party stuff going on right now, right? It's still fun to think about, well, what can I do embellishment wise to make this feel like it's a birthday? And I think maybe one of the things, actually I'm going to try turning this way now that I'm thinking about it, is to add a lot of color, right? So I kind of really like the idea of adding this rainbow, I don't know, it looks like little paint pots, doesn't it? But I think we can turn this into birthday too. The second runner up, I just wanted to show you, is this laser cut, but I feel like this is just kind of a little, I don't know, a little too dark and not quite as poppy and birthday feeling. So again, you know, you're kind of, maybe you'll start somewhere, maybe you'll put things down, and then maybe you'll end up a little somewhere else. So how do I make this feel like birthday? And you guys also had the question, and I mentioned this before about my title binder, right? So this is how I can turn a page into what I want it to be. I've got titles for it, and yeah, they're a little easier to use than those stamps, right? Because these are stickers, so you can just peel and stick, which is really fun. So I have my section here, which is congrats, birthday, surprise, and wishes. So if I wanted to use happy birthday, I could, party time, I could, whatever kind of sentiment, it's a party, all those different things. Remember, it takes a little bit of time to do this, but now look at how fast that is. I don't have to remember where any of this stuff is. I can just flip to my binder and take a look at what I have that's fun. Now, the other thing I was realizing is that they have these beautiful embellishments as well. And so another one, I thought I may, look at how fun these go together. Best day ever, right? Or something like happy heart. Those are cute too. So, you know, again, this is a way of grouping everything together so it's right at your fingertips, really accessible. And then where are we going to put it? Well, we have a choice. We can either put it on some of the colored paper, but one of my favorite things, again, is coming back to like just a simple journal pattern or a paper, and then creating a title with this. Okay, so, and this is why I love keeping some of these already cut pieces in here. I keep both solid little white pieces if I'm making a title or doing something, or I also keep some of my journal blocks in here. Okay, so I've got some choices. What's on the back of that? That's gray, so I'm not going to use those. So now I can see, I can tuck those away. Now I can see, okay, so what sentiment, and I'm thinking now that this is all kind of piling in here, what do I want to say? Something like that. I don't know if I'm going to use happy birthday, but make a wish is really cute, or wishes. Since she is making a wish, maybe we'll do that. Make a wish. And I'm not really crazy about the happy birthdays with this page. Happy birthday, it's a party. Let's go with make a wish. Okay, so I'm going to need a piece. So once you've kind of decided on the title that you want to use, then you can just find a little scrap of paper that'll go with it. So I'm kind of liking the look of some grid just with all this pattern. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use this little piece. Okay. And again, this is the sticker backing paper that I use in my book, and you can use it and reuse it, and I didn't get that on straight. Okay, let me try again. Straight that time. Okay, and so then I'll just trim that down, and now all of a sudden, I believe you, I'm going to have a title. Okay, so you guys see the benefit? Okay, oh, it looks like we're back. All right, sorry guys, we're gonna have a little bit of a jiggle. Sorry. I think my phone just decided to drop you guys. Okay, can you see? Are we back? Let's see. We need to get you in focus. What happened here? Okay, now we're not focusing. Buffering, still buffering. Okay. Let's see. Are we back? Are you guys back? Oh no. You can hear, you're here. Okay, can you see? Oh gosh, this is crazy, huh? Can you see? Or is it just... Okay, so Julie, you can see. We're back. All right, because I kept getting, some folks are still buffering. Okay, yay, see and hear. Okay, sorry, you guys. All right, now the whole question is, can we focus back where we need to be? Is that in focus? Okay, so let me get you back up on stand. Oh, technical difficulties, you guys, right? Sorry. Okay, let's see. Oops, sorry for all the jiggling. Are you guys seasick now? All right. I don't know why it's not focusing though. It needs to focus right down there on my page. It doesn't look any good that it's blurry. Oh my. Okay, is it blurry for you guys? I'm hoping it's gonna clear up. Okay, I can't see anything on my screen. Yes, it's blurry. Yes, it's blurry. Okay, let me see. Maybe if I bring it up and have it focus. I don't know why it's blurry now. And bring it back down. Okay. Well, guys, I'm not sure. Maybe that's just our call to action to say we need to wrap things up. Or did it just get clear? Did it just get clear? It's still a little blurry. I am so sorry about that. So I think Are we back? Okay, I'm just gonna hope maybe we're back a little bit because it's clear. It's not too bad. Okay, so sorry, I'm not sure what's going on. Um, Alrighty, well, okay. Okay, so well, let's finish up these 2 pages then, and we can call it a night. So, okay, so we were talking, I think, before all the mishap. It is blurry. I'm sorry about that. That it's also nice scale and texture when you're working on pages. So we've got these 2 strong colors, the purple and the yellow, but how do we kind of tie that together? For me, I think it would be fun to use a rainbow paper to kind of make everything come together. And it just feels very fun and birthday to me to do that. And I am going to use, the fun new little, let's see, it's called Ruffle Trim Border Maker Cartridge. The cloud one would be really cute with this too. So I hope you can see well enough. I'm so sorry, you guys. Technical difficulties. So I'm just going to grab my border maker and we're just going to make a really quick border with the the smaller pattern rainbow paper. And I have a feeling, I'll see. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this will work well enough with the ruffle trim. Okay, so we're just going to pop on here. Oh, I forgot. This is a freestanding one. So here's where we can go. Whoops, is that going to be enough on there? No. Okay, I forgot. That was freestanding, which is darling and cute, but it's really kind of not doing much for me on that page. So here's my second choice, which is the Cloud Border Maker Cartridge, which I just had in my hand. And we're going to try that. I also really like the Cloud because it just almost feels kind of like a ruffle. It doesn't always, to me, feel cloud. It kind of looks more just like a soft ruffle pattern. I think this is what I was thinking about, is an edge. So again, we've got the 2 different kinds of border patterns. So this is the edge border, and then the other one, this is the freestanding. So what I wanted to do was have an edge so that we can do some tucking, because I like to do that tuck behind. Okay, so we're going to take this. We're going to get our pages right here situated. And then we're going to do a little deciding whether we're going to tuck behind. I think we're going to do that. Actually, that's really fun, just to have a little peekaboo. And now we've got kind of a whole different look to this page. Okay, so that's where we're going with this one. And I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. So first, I think what I'm going to do is work on the border over here and give this layered embellishment a kind of a home. So we're going to do a 2-inch. I'm going to line that up at 2 inches. I'm going to make a strip there. Okay, and now we've got a place for this. And I don't know what it is, but these just come off, and then you have to use your adhesive to stick them back down. I think you probably, if you've used any of these layered embellishments, you've seen that the sticky stuff, I just can never get it to come out the right way. So we're going to put this here and kind of use that. I think I have it over too far. Move it over this way. There we go. And then we're going to use that right there on the side. That makes a really fun element for the birthday girl. And this is where we can kind of do a little tuck under if we want with the elements. Okay, so that's kind of coming together. I'm going to need to trim a little bit more on these photos to get everything to fit. And then over here, I really liked how that looked with the paper here. So I think I'm going to do the same thing with the cloud border maker once again, and just get that edge with this paper. Okay, here we go. Okay, guys, we are back in action. Hopefully it's not too difficult to see. So we're going to go ahead and use the border maker cartridge again. I think I pulled that out a little too far. There we go. Okay, so now I have this, and I think to balance everything out and bring this edge over there. So I'm going to do another 2-inch cut on this and bring it differently than kind of the way a lot of folks scrapbook, which is only using one photo on a page, or maybe 2 or 3 photos. But really, when you work on focusing on adding a lot of pictures to your page and being able to tell the story. So like in this case, I haven't added my journaling box, right? So I have to make sure I do that. But when you do that, you also you don't have as much real estate to do all the fancy stuff. So that's again why I kind of have the idea of keeping things simple and easy, and kind of you know, just a easy traditional way of scrapbooking. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start putting some of these base pieces down so we can get these pages worked out. You know, I'm kind of wondering if something happened because it's Friday night and there's so many people on the internet that it just, you know, instead of HD, like the high quality, it just took me down to a lower quality video. I don't know, but we're going to have to look into that for sure. Okay, so this little guy is going to go here. So again, I was mentioning how this could get trimmed down to a 3x3. So this one's going to get done. Actually, I think we'll do a 3.5. That looks about right. 3.5 by 3.5 here. And we've got just the birthday girl we need. And this is where we're going to pull in some yellow, and there are so many shades of yellow. We're just going to find something really fun. Oh, this was, that looks like it might be a good, it was one from eons ago. If you guys remember, there was a, it actually has the dot on it. Really fun paper to use. So I'm just going to add that there, and then we're going to trim this at 6.5. And there's that focal picture right there. Okay, so once we've kind of started making decisions about that, we can go, okay, we need to get a little more room on here.